He is one of the biggest voices in the Congress party, and as Congress stares at questions of existential survival, who better than Digvijaya Singh to answer some of those questions right here on ET Now. Thank you very much for joining us on the show, sir. And I think the big headline is really coming in from Uttar Pradesh. First, the way BJP swept these elections, and then the appointment of Adityanath. Now, it's controversial because he's known to have made very hardline Hindutva brigade statements. But why is the Congress party crying foul? This was a mandate for the BJP. It's really their prerogative who they put in the chief minister's chair. Why are there so many voices coming in from the opposition, of which Congress is also a part?
We have no problem. Ultimately, in democracy, it is the people's mandate which is paramount. And it is the people who get the government which they deserve. So now I think they have a government with almost more than two-thirds majority in UP, the highest mandate which any political party has got in the recent years. So there is a clear mandate. Now in the next 5 years they have to sort of perform, deliver and fulfill all election promises. About the choice of the chief minister, we have nothing to say. But at the same time, when they talk of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, it has to be Sabka Saath.
Were you surprised by the choice of the chief minister?
See, why should I be surprised? I have no sort of likes or dislikes as far as me.
You're not just a congressman, you're also a very seasoned
I'm fighting
politician.
the ideology, not the personalities.
You're not just a congressman, you're also a very seasoned politician. The whole campaign was about Mr. Modi, it was about development, it was about creating jobs, got polarized towards the end. What is the message being delivered by putting Adityanath in that seat? He is perhaps the face of that hardline, polarized Hindu politics.
First of all, I don't know why you people were conned by Narendra Modi on the issue of development. Development was never an issue. What is Gujarat model of development? It is one state which is not on the top of the table on any indicator, and it is 13th on the Human Development Index. So what are you talking about, Mr. Narendra Modi talking of development? He has successfully conned the whole country on the issue that he symbolizes development. Development is something which he has to sell to hide the real face of BJP, that is hard-headed religious fundamentalism and fanaticism.
Will you then agree with me that the entire country seems to be conned by that narrative? Because this election in some sense was also a referendum on his mid-year term, and it looks like the country is willing to buy his narrative, whether it's development conned or whether it's...
There's a very interesting article in News Laundry regarding how the IT cell of the BJP ran the campaign down to the lowest level, where they put in every conceivable, I would say, videos and incidents totally false, which sort of escalated the hatred for the Muslims among the Hindus. Issues which have, incidents which have taken place in Afghanistan, Iraq and Syria,
right.
They have sort of put in that this is what is happening in Kashmir, this is what is happening in India, which is totally, absolutely false. You know, RSS trains people to spread rumors. Now technology has given them a real impetus, and a platform where they can ruthlessly send all kinds of disinformation across the country. And this is, they have done it so systematically that people have been now, first they were conned by Narendra Modi's development, now they have been conned by the issue of their ugly face of communalism.
But do you agree with me when some of us believe that the appointment of Adityanath is a function of the fact that Narendra Modi has made it very clear 2019 is going to be on this agenda and not so much on what the world really thought it would be on?
I have been saying this for a long time. People in Congress party don't know what RSS is, what RSS agenda is. I have dealt with RSS, I have fought with the RSS, and I know their functioning because I come from an area where they have been strongest. So, unfortunately, I was not able to put across to the Congress party the real threat which to the country if we had a pracharak like Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. Now we have a pracharak like Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. So the long awaited agenda of Dr. Hedgewar and Guru Golwalkar is there for them to implement. Their ultimate aim is doing away with Baba Sahib Ambedkar's constitution and bringing in their own constitution where they sort of have a Hindu Rashtra.
I'm going to just move on to the opposition in a minute from now, but one last question before I ask, before I go, and this is more as a politician and not really as a congressman, so to say. Has Narendra Modi also taken a risk by putting in Adityanath? Because Adityanath is not a part of his inner circle, so to say. He is a very influential, very powerful politician in his own right. That smile says a lot. I want to ask you to expound upon that.
Well, you come from the same area as
I do.
Mahant Adityanath,
Yes.
so you know him better than me. And you know, if you see the teachings of Guru Gorakhnath, it was totally where he sort of brought the society together. And people don't know probably that his closest friend was Peer Roshan Ali.
That's right.
Of now Gorakhpur. And people also don't know that the land allotted to Gorakhnath Mutt was allotted by Nawab of Awadh. So, Mahant Adityanath has gone totally against the very principle, very idea of very ethos of Guru Gorakhnath. He had created Nath Sampradaya because of the total domination by one sect of people on religion. So, where the Dalits, the weaker sections were not allowed to come in. So, Guru Gorakhnath represented the deprived sections who were not recognized in the society at that time. So, I have said this in a public thing, where one of my forefathers was associated with Nath Sampradaya.
Yes, yes.
So, whenever I went to Gorakhpur, I went and paid obeisance to Guru Gorakhnath Mutt. And I have always told Mahant Adityanath ji that you are going against the very principle for which Guru Gorakhnath stood for.
So has Modi taken a risk by putting him there? He's not going to pander to the whims and fancies of New Delhi. And unlike what people think that PMO is going to run UP, you really do think so?
Well, let's see who prevails, CMO or PMO.
All right, indeed. There are already Har Har Yogi happening than Har Har Modi. But I'm going to just take the focus away from that and ask you a question. A lot of people, experts have said that the mandate in UP was yes for the BJP, but it was also against the kind of appeasement that has happened for years now by parties like yourselves. How would you blunt that criticism? How would you refute
What do you call appeasement? In what way?
You pandered a lot to minorities, to Muslims, and which is why perhaps the majorities feel alienated.
Well, tell me one developed country and a developed society which has not considered the issues of minorities in their country. Has US not given special rights to the Hispanics, to the African Americans? Even in UK, all developed countries have given a special, I would say, status to the minorities. Because now, for example, minorities in Jammu Kashmir, they have to be protected.
That's right.
So, it's a question of not Hindus or Muslims. It is the question of minority being protected. The minorities have not been given reservation in anything.
That's right.
Except they have been given special facilities for their educational institutions, which is quite valid.
You know, sir, it's not just in Parliament. I mean, barring a few of you, if you walk into Parliament today, the opposition is in a very defeatist mindset. I mean, it's almost like, you know, they're bearing the burden of having to come to Parliament. You go and meet the cadres and the opposition is very resigned to the fact that 2019 is for Modi to win or lose. I'm asking you, are Modi and Shah really invincible? Because the opposition's body language and the mindset is almost that. They've kind of given up.
In democracy, no one is invincible. Who could have ever thought that in 1977, with a huge majority and the emergency period,
Right.
where the opposition was totally crushed, Indira Gandhi will be defeated? Who could have ever imagined that Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, with a mandate of more than 400 plus,
That's right.
could be reduced to less than 200? So the basic strength of democracy is that everyone has a right to speak, everyone has a right to vote, and everyone has the right freedom of expressing his views. Now, the whole issue is, if you see the mandate of 2014, 31% came to the BJP,
yes.
and its allies. As far as Congress party is concerned, it polled something like 19 point something. But look at the numbers. In 2009, BJP got 19 point something percent, and they got about 114 seats.
That's right.
And we got 19% and yet got only 44 seats.
Yes.
These are the vagaries of a parliamentary democracy system. But at the same time, the majority of people in this country are not communal.
You don't think so, even after mandates like these?
No, certainly not. It is the I would say disjointed effort of the secular forces which has given them the edge. But at the same time, let me tell you one thing. UP election and national elections will be quite different. The issues in the state and issues at center are quite different.
Right.
So don't think that whatever percentage of vote they got in 2014 and what they got in 2017 assembly, they will get in 2019. Also, people were fed up of regional parties. See, 1985 was the last election where people gave a clear mandate to the National Party.
Yes.
So they were quite fed up with the Samajwadi Party and BSP, which was doing caste politics, and the issues were quite sort of different. So therefore, people wanted a party which could deliver, and so they have decisively voted for the BJP. Now they will watch how the thing goes. Now, yesterday only one BSP Muslim leader has been murdered in in Allahabad. And also, I'm getting reports that in villages, banners are being put up, "You Muslims get out of this place."
You're making a valid point that we have seen the mightiest of them lose ground and then make a huge stunning comeback. What is it that the opposition is going to rally around? And will we perhaps finally see the coming together of the anti-Modi, the secular bloc, so to say? What will be the glue? What are going to be the causes that will put them? Do you see that in the making at all?
Well, your channel is basically economic. It has an economic slant.
Right.
Now, let us say 2014 and is 2017. Now, almost about less than 2 months less than a year.
Yes.
How has the government performed?
On the economic parameters, they haven't done well at all.
This is what I'm saying. They came on the development front. They came on the economic front. What are the successful programs? They have just repackaged whatever was UPA's schemes were.
With very, very smart marketing.
Yes. In fact, whenever people ask me, what is the plus point of Modi? I said marketing and nothing else. He opposed Aadhaar. He takes credit for Aadhaar. He opposed GST. He is taking credit for
MNREGA.
Narega. So he has not deviated from all the developmental schemes of the Congress party, which he now takes credit of. Now, Jan Dhan Yojana. What is Jan Dhan Yojana? Inclusive banking of the Congress party. What is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? Nirmal Bharat Yojana of Congress party. So he has been able to successfully market himself through different through packaging. But the fact remains, his performance on the economic front has been dismal.
But are people willing to? But my sense is that people are willing to ignore that today.
Well, exactly. This is where I think lack of communication from the opposition party is responsible for this. We must now aggressively question him on his election promises. He had promised 2 crores a job every year. How many jobs have been created? Not even 100,000 jobs.
That's right, yeah.
I was looking through the statistics.
Hmm.
It is 0.1 million. That is 1 lakh of
That's right.
jobs.
1.1, yeah. But you know, the reason why I asked you that question, sir, is that the popular sentiment or the popular perception out there is that Modi has almost taken every cause that the Congress party stood for. So he started with Hindutva. He then went on to be Mr. Development. He then sold this, you know, big change India dream. He's perhaps gone back to Hindutva, pro-poor. What is the narrative that the opposition can latch on to today?
Let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Modi wants to occupy the Congress space. Liberal, modern, left of center.
You really think so?
Yes. He is always talking of poor and poverty, which he never did as a Chief Minister of
That's
Gujarat.
right, yes.
Okay. But now if you see the budget, budget allocation for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes have come down. Budget allocations for on social sectors of education, health, rural development, others have come down. Indirect tax remains same, and direct tax relief have been given of about 20,000 crores. Now, who pays the direct tax? The people who have the capacity to pay tax.
Yes.
And who pays the indirect tax? Everyone.
Everybody, yes.
So therefore,
and which is why it's a negative
the
tax.
other
yes.
thing, of course, is also they want to bring in GST. If I've been warning the finance minister, please be careful, because if it is done without enough preparation, there's going to be utter chaos. Now, for example, they have brought in the budget to look at, and they have given the figures which would be not there after 1st of July.
No, that's right. Yes.
So, how can you sort of have a budget on assumption that these taxes will continue when these taxes will subsumed in the
That's
GST?
right, in the GST. So, you know, the reason why I asked you the question was that unlike a lot of people, I don't think a melee of opposition can come on and take on the BJP, and which is why I think a principal opposition like a Congress is important. But the Congress itself seems to be in shambles. Will you deny the fact that Congress has been caught napping or caught unawares as far as the rise of the BJP is concerned? The popular imagination of this country, you no longer perhaps the pole party that Congress stood for. Will you deny that today?
You see, Congress
the pole position is being taken by
Congress party is not a cadre-based party. It's a Congress party has always been a movement. But what I feel is that the Congress party has to reinvent itself. Not only reinvent, but sort of redesign itself to look into the modern issues. Like I said in the Indian Express interview, now the Dalits and the tribals have also slowly moving into a middle class mindset.
That's right, yes.
So their issues are more aspirational. They want better education. They want better jobs. So therefore, I think the whole narrative has to now change. The Congress party has to identify itself with the aspirations of the rising middle class on one side, and also at the same time we have to bring in the issue that the path taken by the BJP of extreme right religious fundamentalism will drive the secular Muslims into the hands of the communal Muslim fundamentalist organizations.
That's right.
Which is scary.
I'm glad you're being candid to say that the Congress has to reinvent the narrative at least, because you know the Dalits today, or you're right, the SCSTs have different aspirations. Your Vice President says the Congress needs restructuring.
I totally agree.
You've spoken about surgical intervention required.
Absolutely.
What is that surgical intervention?
You see, the point I'm trying to make is, in 2005-2006, Congress President had set up a committee to look into future challenges of the Congress party. Then there was an introspection committee headed by Mr. Mickey Antony. And they set up they discussed with all and gave its report, which Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he doesn't want to take a decision himself. It's a very good thing with him. He consults a lot of people. So he had a wide discussion with almost 150 senior leaders, and then he gave that the paper to the state units. And at district level, thorough discussions took place, and the general secretaries gave their report on 28 February 2015 to the Congress president. Now, on basis of that, we were expecting some strong decisions to be taken.
Who is going to take those strong decisions?
Congress president and vice president have to take the decisions.
Can the Congress survive as a single unit under a leader who's trying to build consensus?
The consensus is a good thing, but then after consensus, decision has to be taken.
Your party is not taking enough decisions.
This I feel that the time taken in taking decision is rather long.
And who is to be blamed? Your vice president alone?
I don't blame anyone. We are a political party which has strongly bonded on the issue of the family. We are there because of the family, and they are a great bonding factor within the Congress party, and politically they've been correct also.
That's exactly my point. The Congress does not have the politician that Sonia Gandhi was today. Will you agree with me?
Well, she's there.
She's there, but she's indisposed. She's not in the best of her health. She's not really very actively involved.
We are quite sure of what little I know of Rahulji. He has a political instinct. Sometimes he feels that he's not been given a free hand, but that's something which is, I would say,
but for every practical purpose, he is running the party today. He is running the show.
Yes, yes. More or less, Congress president is abdicated in his favor.
Does the buck in the Congress party stop with Rahul Gandhi today?
Well, as it stands today, of course, she is the president. So ultimately, she calls the shots. But by and large, she has asked us to be in touch with the vice president.
So when you have to be in touch with the vice president, does the mandate which is for or against also rest with him? Does a electoral loss in UP reflect the leadership of Rahul Gandhi?
No, I don't agree there. I don't agree. You see, which party has done well in UP? BSP, Samajwadi Party. Which party has done well? So therefore, you can't blame Rahul Gandhi for this.
Let me ask you the question, because you touched upon Manipur and Goa. The tally could well have been 2-3. It turns out it's 1-4. Is that personally disturbing for you as a congressman today?
Not really. We had the people's mandate, but because of the, I would say, total partisan attitude of the two governors, they have violated the Sarkaria Commission guidelines. They have violated the Supreme Court directives by not inviting the single largest party. In democracy, what matters? What matters is the mandate. Either you have a clear mandate, or if you don't have a clear mandate, there is a clear guideline of the Sarkaria Commission. If there is a fractured mandate, the first right of refusal goes to pre-poll alliance party.
That's right, yes.
Second right to refusal goes to the single largest party, and so on and so forth. Here they directly gave it to, and also the governor house is not where the majority is tested. It is in the house.
I buy your point.
The governor said, I am a psychologist. I saw the faces and the feelings, and I did psychoanalysis of the MLAs and decided.
So will you candidly admit this evening that the Congress was outmaneuvered by the BJP in both these states?
Not outmaneuvered.
You were perhaps not agile enough. That's their contention.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. After all, you know, we had gone to the governor within 28 hours of the result. We can't go to the governor without electing our leader.
Understand, yes.
Tell me one instance in any state where any party has claimed to form a government.
Did you take too long to elect your leader?
Not at all. We started at 12:30 in the afternoon, finished by 4 o'clock. That's all. It took 3 to 4 hours.
I'm going to ask you a very candid question. There are people and detractors of Rahul Gandhi say that the Congress needs to look beyond the Gandhis. I am not somebody who believes that, because I think it's the party that has been, the family that has been the glue that has held the party together. Do you believe there can be a Congress without the Gandhi family?
Let me ask you another, let me respond to you like this.
Yes.
is there a challenger?
That's precisely my point as well.
You see, there's an election. Let someone who feels that he can run the party better than Mr. Rahul Gandhi or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, let him contest the next AICC presidentship.
So you're not somebody from the opposition who's resigned like a lot of other people on social media who says 2019 is Modi's election to lose.
No. A determined Congress party and a decisive leadership can turn the table.
On that note, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.